So I wanted to talk to you guys about something that's been going on for over 2 weeks now. And it's the most insane fucking thing ever. And it's just like, this is why I don't like, the woke scold purity testing types. Like, I'm probably going to go into a rant about that during the course of covering this. But as you guys know, I'm good friends with a Twitter person known as EuphoriTori. Shout out to EuphoriTori. Good friend of the channel. But EuphoriTori said something on Twitter that just like got so much, like she got a barrage of hate, and she's still getting hated on Twitter over 2 weeks later for a tweet that on the surface seems really fucking harmless, chat. And I'll just go ahead and I'll read it for you. So we have somebody here talking about the Starbucks boycott. Now, if you're not familiar with the Starbucks boycott is, according to leftists on Twitter, the online left, the Starbucks boycott is a boycott of Starbucks because supposedly Starbucks supports Israel. Like, they're providing monetary support for Israel. Okay. And if you actually look into it, it turns out that's actually not the case. The funniest thing about this is, like, I remember when I first heard about this boycott, I heard about it from my sister. And, I got to preface this by saying that I love my sister to death. Okay. I got a good relationship with my sister. I love her very much. She's great. Okay. Shout out to Sister Tippy. Okay. But the reason why I preface this by saying all that is because my sister is... She's a woke scold lefty, okay? She's one of the woke scold ones, and, we have a little bit of clashes from time to time because of that. But anyway, she was telling me about, the Starbucks boycott, and she kept telling me, you shouldn't buy Starbucks. Granted, I'm not a big Starbucks person to begin with, but she was like, you really shouldn't buy Starbucks. There's a boycott. They support Israel. You should really look into it or whatever. And I'm like, okay. Because my sister tends to, like, fall down these, like, little internet rabbit holes and, like, believe things that just aren't fucking true. And so I was like, oh, I'll look into it one day when I get a chance. I kept putting it off. Then this EuphoriTori thing happens. And I finally decided, okay, I need to look into this now so I can have a better understanding of what the fuck is going on, okay? And what I found was that there are valid reasons to boycott Starbucks. For example, they are notorious union busters, okay? So if you want to boycott them for that, that's fine. You can boycott them for that. Then there was this incident where there is a Starbucks union for some employees of Starbucks, and this Starbucks union put out a pro-Palestine statement, right, as part of the union, and Starbucks ended up suing them for using their name and logos as part of this statement. Now, they weren't actually suing them for the statement itself. They were suing them for the use of their name and their logos. But some people saw that as, another act of union busting. But they also saw that as, Starbucks potentially speaking out against, Palestine. They're not supporting Palestine. Instead, they're supporting Israel. Now, let's be honest, okay? Starbucks is a company. It's in Starbucks' best interest to not take a side on these kind of geopolitical issues, okay? It makes sense for them to not take a stance at all. Okay. So I don't think that's what happened when they, filed this lawsuit. I think they were just like, these people are using our name and our logo, and also they hate the union. So they wanted to fuck with the union as well. So there are valid reasons to boycott Starbucks, but supporting Israel isn't one of them. And I try to explain it to my sister. I'm like, hey, I think you fell for some fake news. And my sister, being the woke skull type that she is, she kind of responded to me because we were texting this. She kind of responded to me with a smug, tee-hee-hee, I think you're the one who fell for fake news. Oh, shit. So then I had to, like, fucking Vosh Destiny-style debate bro my own sister and say, okay, well, if they support Israel, then why don't you tell me how they do that? And the text messages went silent for like 10 or 15 minutes or something like that. And then eventually she comes back to me and she's like, you know what? I think you're right. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Tipster fucking W against his own sister. So anyway, my point is that you have all these people on social media talking about a Starbucks boycott. And again, if you want to boycott Starbucks because they're notorious union busters, you want to boycott Starbucks because you think their lawsuit against the union is fucked up, go right ahead. Those are valid reasons to boycott Starbucks, okay? But if your reason for boycotting Starbucks is because they support Israel, That's just not the case. Like that's literally fucking false. And the funny thing is, you will challenge so many of these people on Twitter with this idea, and when you challenge them, you're like, oh, okay, well, you say that they support Israel. How? How do they do that? And instead of actually answering your question or showing you proof that that's the case, they'll just respond with something along the lines of, oh, you're a genocide denier. And it's like, no, I'm not. I'm just trying to understand something that, like, you're claiming you know something I don't, so why don't you tell me? And instead they just want to fight about it, and it becomes, you know, purity testing, woke scolding, mob justice bullshit, which it doesn't fucking work. One of these days on the channel, I'm going to do a specific segment dedicated to why woke scolding, purity testing, and like this cancel culture mob justice shit just doesn't work. But anyway, that's a whole nother topic for another day. So this person tweets out, Taps Mike, Starbucks bring your own cup promo is so that people can secretly buy their products without having to outwardly display their logo, thus having everyone know they don't truly support the boycott. To which EuphoriTori quote tweeted this, honestly, I don't give a fuck about the boycott. I'm going to keep buying Starbucks, laughing my ass off. And this started a firestorm of harassment against her, which this tweet was tweeted on January 11th, chat. She is still getting shit for this. Oh shit! Oh shit! Still getting shit for this over, what is this, over 2 weeks later? Over 2 fucking weeks later, she's still getting shit for this, chat. It's insane. Like, this got so bad that the mod team for her Discord server literally left in protest against her. Like, it's that fucking insane, okay? Her own friends started turning their backs on her because of this, like, stupid fucking Starbucks boycott that doesn't even represent what these people are claiming it represents. It's fucking insane. So I wanted to take a look at this, and I thought the best way to take a look at this is a video by friend of the channel, Jalen, one of the few people I still keep in touch with in the commentary community. Shout out to Jalen. If you guys want to check out Jalen's video later on without my commentary, I'll post a link in the chat where you guys can check it out for yourselves. But we're going to go ahead and check out this video, and I'll kind of give my commentary as we go along. So without further ado,
play that shit!
Here we go.
We got some breaking news, all right? A trans woman has been exposed for evil things. You're never going to believe the awful things that this person has done, all right? So recently...
Man, okay. YouTube, you need to fix your fucking video player, okay? Your video player's garbage, all right? You are a video hosting website that has a trash video player. Fix your fucking shit!
One of my moots, EuphoriTori, she's a pretty large, like, I guess trans activist account on Twitter. Well, she has been exposed for some awful things, like horrible things. And I can't believe that she did these things, okay? So you guys may have heard of Starbucks, right? The company that sells the coffee that's mostly water with sugar.
I like to joke that anybody, like, when I go to on the rare occasion that I go to Starbucks or I see somebody with Starbucks, I like to refer to it as star schmucks. Because I feel like anybody who spends that much for a mediocre cup of coffee, you have to be a fucking schmuck, okay?
You are some fucking abomination from the pits of the internet.
I mean, let's be honest. You could get better tasting coffee from, like, McDonald's or, like, fucking 7-Eleven or, like, Dunkin' Donut, and it's going to cost you significantly less.
She went to Starbucks. That's basically the drama. That is this drama summarized. She went to Starbucks. So I guess basically these losers on Twitter were trying to boycott Starbucks. I don't really know why. It's kind of unclear as to why.
It's like I said, the reason for the Starbucks boycott is like really fucking stupid, okay? If you want to boycott them because they're notorious union busters, hey, cool. All right. If you want to boycott them because of the lawsuit that they, you know, put against the union, hey, cool. You know, go ahead. Those are valid reasons to boycott Starbucks. But if you're boycotting Starbucks because they support Israel in some way, shape, or form, you're just fucking wrong. Okay. Like, they literally, what would be the benefit to Starbucks supporting Israel? They don't even have any fucking stores in Israel. Okay. There's literally no benefit whatsoever to the company to supporting Israel. Okay, so like anybody who thinks that, like, I've looked into this, they're not doing it. It's not fucking happening. Okay,
know that Vosh has called this out, being like, this is stupid. This boycott is dumb.
I mean, for fuck's sakes, all right? For fuck's sakes, they're not even on the, what is it, the BDS list? BDS list. If you don't know what the BDS list is, this is a list of companies that you should boycott, all right? Like, actually should boycott in connection to the Israel-Palestine conflict. If you're pro-Palestinian, these are companies you actually should boycott. Let me go ahead and pull this up. Notice Starbucks is not on this list. Starbucks is not on this list. So people are losing their shit and literally harassing people on Twitter over a Starbucks boycott that doesn't even have any relevancy to this conflict whatsoever. Like, it's insane. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the Hogwarts Legacy boycott. At least in the case of the Hogwarts Legacy boycott, there was a valid reason to have a boycott. People didn't want to support J.K. Rowling, who is a notorious fucking TERF. Okay? Like, if you wanted to engage in that boycott because you didn't want to support J.K. Rowling, totally fine. Absolutely nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Okay? But when you get to the point where you start harassing people because they chose not to participate in the boycott, or maybe they didn't even know the boycott was a thing, or they just wanted to play a video game from a franchise that they grew up with and they love, like, what does that do? Like, this is what I mean when I say stuff like woke scolding and purity testing and, social outrage. Like, these things don't work, okay? When you do stuff like that, you make all of us in the left look like fucking idiots, okay? Because you got people on the right who are like, hey, come over here. Like, if you got somebody who's like, they're not quite sure where they stand politically, and you got people on the right like, hey, come over here. We'll accept you for your flaws and your differences and stuff like that. We'll accept you. And, they're very welcoming and inviting. And then you got people on the left who are like, if you come over here, we're going to go through your past and make sure you've never, ever, ever done anything, problematic. And if you do, we're going to fucking cancel you. And it's like, how many people do you think are going to join the left when that's the kind of behavior you engage in? Or like when you go around, because there's a boycott against a video game, you go around harassing fucking live streamers because they play a video game that you've chosen to boycott. How many people are you going to get to align their political views? Like, if they're indecisive, how many people are you going to get to align with your political views on the left when that's the way that you act with them? I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to get very many. But in any case, here's the actual BDS list. These are actual companies that you should be boycotting if you actually give a shit about this particular issue, which, by the way, I hate to admit it, I do see some companies here that I have used. The last time I filled up gas in my tank, I went to Chevron. Oh, God. Oh, shit. Now I'm going to get canceled because I'm over here admitting that I've used some of these companies. Basically every major pizza chain is on there. So if you like pizza, go with a local, mom and pop shop. Although granted, let's be honest, local mom and pop shop pizza, it's a hell of a lot better than anything these people make. Fucking Google and Amazon, just by streaming to YouTube, I'm already breaking this. But anyway, if there's actually companies that you actually want to boycott because you want to support Palestinians, these are the companies you should be looking at. Starbucks is nowhere on here. So why the fuck are we harassing people on Twitter over fucking Starbucks? Why? It doesn't make sense.
People drink their stupid Starbucks. I guess apparently, like, I guess the owner of Starbucks supports Israel, maybe?
The company sued.
The best explanation I've seen for this is that the online leftists are terminally online and they're so lonely they're looking for a tight friend group. I mean, I see what you mean, but I think the biggest reason like a lot of this like purity testing, woke scolding shit happens is because people want a virtue signal. They want to get like basically the internet version of ass pats, which is essentially likes on Twitter and shit like that. And if they can get a massive amount of likes on Twitter by calling somebody out for some very mundane, minuscule thing that they perceive as wrongdoing, then they will absolutely jump on that opportunity because people are obsessed with getting their slight little fucking dopamine fix by literally destroying the lives of others and harassing people over the most mundane shit. EuphoriTori just wants to have her white chalky mocha, okay? I asked her what her favorite drink was, and that is apparently her favorite drink. She wants to have her white chalky mocha. Let a basic bitch have her fucking white chalky mocha, okay? Anyway.
For trademark infringement. Wait, is this entire stupid, useless, pointless, not going to do anything Starbucks boycott that a bunch of cards are going to pat themselves in the back for being revolutionaries for participating in when they didn't order anything anyway, purely because Starbucks filed a lawsuit against a union for using a similar logo.
By the way, Tori, if you happen to be watching this, I did not mean to offend you by calling you a basic bitch, okay? I love you. I really do. But if you drink Starbucks, I'm sorry, you're a basic bitch.
And they just happen to make a pro-Palestine post, and they don't even have business in Israel. And through all of that, that's it. That's really it. God, I hate our move. Oh my God, I hate left more than you could possibly imagine.
Starbucks has not given any money to Israel as far as
That's what I'm talking about. Like, this kind of behavior makes the online left look like a joke. Let me tell you something from personal experience, okay? I've always had pretty progressive views, okay? I've always had pretty progressive views. But the thing is, like, I never really openly talked about them for a couple reasons. One of them I've been pretty honest with about, you know, in the past when I was a content creator, mingling with other content creators in non-political spaces. One of the things they always tell you is never discuss your politics. You're just going to alienate your audience. So that was one of the reasons I did it. But another reason I didn't really talk about it is because I'm looking at like myself and I'm thinking of myself and I have flaws. I've made mistakes in my past. There's things that I've done that, you know, I regret now. You know, obviously I wouldn't do those things now or say those things now, etc. But there's things that I've done in the past that I'm not proud of. And I'm looking at like, hey, you know, there's this group of people online, you know, the online left. These are people that I politically align with, but I don't want to engage with them at all because if I do, these dipshits are going to purity test me and they're going to woke scold me and they're going to fucking harass me if they find any little thing that they see in my past as problematic and they're going to try and destroy me. So it's like one of those things where it's like, why would anybody, you know, somebody like myself who's already a progressive but just wasn't outspoken about it, why would I ever want to fuck with these people if I'm like, they're gonna dig through my past and if they find one little tiny thing that they see an issue with, then they're gonna go ahead and cancel me and harass me for it. Like, nobody wants to do that. Like, who's going to sign up for that? Nobody, okay? The only reason why I eventually joined this space is, one, because I wanted to leave the space that I was in before. It was a very toxic community, and I didn't want to be a part of it anymore. But then I discovered that there are actually people in the left, the online left, that aren't mentally unhinged. Like, they actually think rationally and they're not like going around trying to cancel everybody. And then I was like, oh, okay, well, I fucks with these people then. As far as like those woke scolding, fucking purity testing dipshits, I want nothing to do with those people. But these people, they seem pretty chill. So I'll just fucking hang out with them. But anyway.
And see, they haven't said anything in support of Palestine or Israel. They're just staying out of it, which I think they should be. They're a corporation. So Tori saw this stupid boycott going on, and she was like, honestly, I don't give a fuck about this boycott. I'm gonna keep buying Starbucks. That's all she said. And because of that, people are saying that she's racist, that she's supporting a genocide, that she's awful, that she doesn't deserve her platform. Just
imagine saying somebody supports a genocide just because they're essentially, like, if you break it down in its most basic form, you're saying somebody supports genocide for buying a cup of coffee. Okay, you know how many products you buy every day that are built on the backs of like really questionable things or things that you wouldn't support. Okay, like if somebody walked up to you, for example, and said, do you support child slave labor? I'm willing to bet most people in chat here would say, no, I don't support child slave labor. Absolutely not. Why would I ever support that, right? And if they turned around and told you, well, did you know that iPhone that you have in your pocket right now was built, some of the components within it were built off the backs of child slave labor? You'd probably go, oh shit. Well, that fucking sucks. Well, I don't want to buy an iPhone anymore. You know, I'll go with an Android phone next time. Well, guess what? The parts in that phone were also built off of the backs of child slave labor. Well, shit. When you dig down into every little aspect of it, you start to realize there are a lot of products that we use every day unknowingly, not realizing that there was some really shady stuff that was done to make those products possible. And like, yes, obviously, you know, we should speak out against these things. We shouldn't be in favor of these types of behaviors continuing, right? And also, when there are situations where a boycott can actually have an impact on changing these kind of things, sure, we should actually engage in those things and vote with our wallet in those cases. But when you really look down into it, there is a lot of stuff that we buy every day that are built off of like the backs of like really fucked up things that we would never ever advocate for, you know? And it's crazy to me to look at someone who is just, you know, on their way to work, just trying to get a cup of coffee just to start their day. And now they're being accused of supporting genocide over a cup of fucking coffee. You want to do the boycott? Cool. You do the boycott. But that doesn't mean anybody who doesn't is this horrible person that needs to be fucking canceled over it. Okay. Stop being fucking insane.
Like so many awful fucking things. This person is like, you claim to be an activist, but then tweet stupid shit like this. You're actually horrible. Well, she's actually horrible because she goes to...
Blue Guy says these kind of boycotts don't work though. Yeah, I think in this particular case, these kind of boycotts don't work, especially in this case, because the boycott doesn't represent anything that's actually fucking happening. Okay, we're being told, we're literally being lied to that Starbucks supports Israel, and they don't. It's literally a boycott built off the backs of bullshit. Okay, like it's literally that.
Starbucks? Really? Really? Damn, this tweet is kind of a banger. Anyways, Tori has a history of stuff like this. Did we all forget about the countless times she was racist? Did we all sweep that under the rug? We need to stop giving people like her chances. First of all, I just want to say, Clout Chaser, this person, Clout Chaser, right off the
If you
bat.
don't know what they're talking about, these people found, because this is something, when I first entered this space, one of the first things I talked about in a video was EuphoriTori getting canceled about a year ago. And if you guys don't know what that was in relation to, some people dug through EuphoriTori's Twitter and they found 10-year-old tweets of her saying some really, really extreme things, right-leaning opinions, we'll just put it that way. And they were really, really like yikesy shit, okay? Now, here's the thing you have to understand about Tori. Tori was raised in a conservative home, in a conservative family, raised on conservative values, okay? So she used to be a conservative, right? So she had very conservative opinions. But here's the thing. Over time, she learned from those things and she learned to be more progressive, and she is a more progressive person now, and she no longer believes a lot of the things that she said back then. And this is one of the things when I talk about how purity testing and woke scolding and like these, you know, mob mentality, cancel culture, like all this shit doesn't work. This is what I'm talking about. Because, you know, leftists like to talk about how they like people to be rehabilitated and they believe in people being rehabilitated and becoming better people over time. But then when somebody like Tori comes along, who used to be a conservative and used to have some very spicy takes, and now they've changed over the years and they become a different person and they're a trans advocate and they're very progressive and whatnot, suddenly none of that matters because she said some really fucked up shit 10 years ago. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you guys right now. There is some fucked up shit that I said when I was a lot younger. Okay, when I was in like my teens and my early 20s, I said some really fucked up shit that I would never, ever, ever fucking say now. Okay. Should everything I've ever done in terms of supporting, you know, progressive issues and stuff like that, should all that stuff be invalidated just because, hey, I've said some fucked up shit in the past? Of course not, right? If you really truly believe that people should be rehabilitated and we should praise people when they, you know, change their views and change their mindset to a more progressive view, if you really truly believe that, why are we constantly digging into people's past to try and find things that they've done wrong in the past and judging them for it in the present? We should take those things and we should look at those situations and say, wow, this person actually changed for the better. And we should applaud and celebrate those things. We shouldn't condemn people because they've changed over the years. Now, if this was a situation where, like, you know, EuphoriTori said these things in the past and people found instances of them saying it now, that's completely different. But why are we judging people like EuphoriTori for things they said 10 years ago when they were a completely different person? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. She's not that person anymore. Why are we judging her now for things she said before? It's very counterproductive to these movements and these issues. But anyways.
That's all they care about. They don't care about activism. They don't care about genocides. They don't care about helping people. They just care about getting a hit tweet, harassing someone, basically. And of course,
exactly.
I mean, this is their fucking bio, okay? Like, come on. Like, do I need to say more? Do I need to say more about that person? So what they're referring to is, you know, Tori has a very racist past, okay? You know, when she was younger, honestly, she made some pretty fucked up tweets. I mean,
let's think about this seriously for a second. What do you think it's going to accomplish when you take someone who has changed their life and has changed their views for the better, and they're more progressive now, What do you think it's going to accomplish when you dig into their past and you find them saying bad things in their past that they don't stand by anymore? What does that accomplish when you go out of your way to ruin that person's life and harass that person for things they no longer believe? What does that accomplish? Is it literally just to get some Twitter likes? Does it make you feel good to shit on people? I guess. I don't know. It's fucking insane.
All made fucked up tweets, okay? But like 2014 or so, she said some like, I guess kind of fucked up shit that people have brought.
The Goose 605 in Twitch says, "Hey Tipster, I found you back when you were covering Billy Mitchell allegations. I was transphobic back then. Anyway, I realize I am a trans girl now and happy to rediscover you via Keffels. Thank you for being base as fuck." Well, thank you for being a part of this community. Happy to have you here. And congratulations on discovering yourself. That's a good thing.
Brought back up to be like, oh my god, you're so racist, you're so horrible. But these are stuff that she's apologized for multiple times, that she's taken accountability for multiple times.
Yeah, as Uber in the chat says, the only way to stop Israel is to harass some trans woman on Twitter. Oh my god, so true.
And you know, she's someone who has reformed,
It sounds ridiculous when you put it that way, right? But that's exactly what happened. Let's condemn the actions of Israel and let's defend the people of Palestine by harassing a trans woman on Twitter. You're doing the Lord's work with that one.
Has changed, who has learned, who has grown, and has, you know, changed her awful political beliefs that she may have had in the past, which I feel like is something that if you're a leftist, that is something that you should advocate for. That is something that you should be for. So Tori is actively an ally, right? She's actively pushing the message, pushing progressivism. And because this like slight little disagreement, because she's like, I just want to buy my Starbucks. Nah, her. She's racist. Look, she did all this in the past. She's awful. We all hate her. This is my problem with lefty Twitter. It's like, that's all it takes. You do that one little tiny thing and you're... Meanwhile, Hassan Piker...
It literally is that, honestly. There are people who will like praise you. They'll put you up on a fucking pedestal because you gave some based leftist take and it's like, holy crap, you know, you're an amazing fucking person for, you know, having such a based fucking take. But the one time you give an opinion they slightly disagree with, or they find something in your past that is problematic, that's it. It's over for you. Like, again, I have to ask this question. What does that accomplish? It doesn't do shit. It just makes you look like a bunch of fucking bumbling idiots looking for any excuse to tear people down.
Interview terrorists, right? He can have terrorists on his stream. He can support terrorism, but that's fine. But going to Starbucks? Nah, that's too far. That's too far for these Twitter freaks. That's way too far, apparently. I can bring up her like old tweets here. Let's see if I can find some of these. I mean, these are pretty up tweets. Well, George Zimmerman was found not guilty, which is good. And honestly, people only cared about this because Trayvon was black. This was in 2013. 11 years ago! 11 years ago. What relevance does this have today? 11 years ago, dude. 11.
Yeah, and you can say that obviously that was a really fucked up tweet to make. And Tori agrees. That was indeed a very fucked up tweet to make. And it's a position that she no longer stands by. So again, why are we judging her today for a position that she doesn't even stand by anymore? Now, if she were to like, if people were to call her out for this tweet and be like, yo, this you, and she were like, yeah, and I think that's fucking based, or basically double down as if she still agreed with that, then yeah, at that point it's like, okay, that's kind of fucked. Don't you know? But that's not what she's doing. She has disavowed those statements, that she no longer stands by them, and they no longer reflect her views. So why are we still constantly, I kid you not, anytime people decide to get a hair up their ass and decide they want to harass Tori, they instantly bring up these tweets again, every fucking time. Every single fucking time. Exactly, it's not like she's Hitler. Yeah.
11 years ago. What were you doing 11 years ago? What shit were you saying 11 years ago? I was on the internet 11 years ago, and I can damn well say that the internet was a fucked up place. Actually, was I on the internet 11 years ago? 2013, I was sort of on the internet. I wasn't terminally online then, but I was kind of on the internet. It was a fucked up place. Like, the internet has been a fucked up place for the majority of its history until recently. So people said all kinds of fucked up shit in the past. That was just part of social media.
It is kind of true. I look back at like the early days of internet content and stuff like that. Like when I first got started, I got started making content on the internet back in 2006. And I look at some of the shit that was happening on YouTube back then in terms of like independent content, and oh boy, some of these like really some of these really easily triggered leftists, like they would shit their pants like every day, pretty much. It was an insane time to be on the internet.
Yeah. And I guess this other one is tell the police to put your hands up, you put them up, end of story. Honestly, that one's not even that bad. I mean, it's probably f***ed up to say that. It's just like classic, internalized racism bullshit or whatever. This is the shit that the media was saying. Right, but this is 10 years ago. This was a decade ago. This is a decade-old tweet that has no relevance to today. It's a decade-old tweet. There is no argument to make against her with these old tweets that people keep bringing up and want to say, oh, she's so racist. She's so racist. People tried to go after her a few months ago because of that.
I mean, that's the craziest thing about it, right? Because like, yeah, they're bad tweets, but if you asked Tori what she thought about those tweets, she would agree with you. She'd say, yeah, those are bad tweets, and I no longer stand by the statements I made in those tweets. So like, again, like I can totally understand if somebody who wasn't in the know, let's say somebody just enters this space and they find out about these tweets and they're like, hey, why did you tweet this? And they're like, oh yeah, it's something that I said 10 years ago, but I no longer stand by it. I 100% disavow those statements. They no longer reflect my current views. At that point, it's just like, oh, okay, well, whatever then. But that's not how it works on the internet. We have to destroy your life now because we found that you as a person, which by the way, people make mistakes. All right. People have bad opinions. People make mistakes. People say and do dumb shit all the time. Right. It's part of being human. We make mistakes. Okay. They expect you to be perfect, and no one is perfect. I guarantee you, every single one of these people who go around and do this kind of shit to other people on the internet, they have something in their past that if it came out, they would like, oh man, I'm a victim now because everybody's coming after me now. And it's like, so you're okay doing that shit to other people, but like, you have a past as well. You've probably said or done dumb shit as well. And if people like turned on you for the same reason, you wouldn't feel so good now, would you? Oh, suddenly you're a victim, right? Anyway.
Tipster made a pretty good video on that whole thing. So
Tipster mentioned. What you're saying right now is one of the reasons the right paints us as closed-minded and unable to be friends with people with different opinions. Yeah, I mean, and that's the opinion people have of us on the left, and that's why. This is why I'm saying it's counterproductive. It doesn't help anybody. It doesn't accomplish anything. You're all of you people who engage in this stuff are just giving us all a bad name. Just stop. I know that me alone saying that isn't going to stop. Let's be honest. It's never going to fucking stop anything. People love to have a reason to be outraged. So,
after this outrage, after like thousands of people are going after her on Twitter for going to Starbucks, harassing her, attacking her for going to Starbucks, well, she said some very awful things in a Discord server. I can't even believe that she would say these things. Truly horrific. All right, she is supporting genocide with these things that she is saying here. Here we go. This shit's hilarious. Imagine making light of genocide all because you got called out on your Starbucks. Now, I just want to say that clearly, she's joking around. Tori is joking around and making fun of the people who are saying she's supporting genocide by going to Starbucks. That's what she's saying in these screenshots here. She's not saying anything anti-Palestine. She's not saying, whoa, let's go. Palestinians are dying. Yeah, let's celebrate. I hate them. No, she's not saying anything like that, okay? What she said is, so it looks like her and a couple other people are joking around in this Discord over here, which fucked up whoever leaked this shit, by the way. Clout chaser. Why would Keith literally kill Palestinians? Shoku literally killed 50 Palestinians buying that coffee. So the joke is, wow, you're buying.
Oh my God. Jesus. When people make comments like, the left can't meme and shit like that, this is what they're talking about. When they say stuff like the left can't meme, this is what they're talking about. She's very clearly making a joke at the expense of people who are harassing her over this stupid fucking Starbucks shit. And it's like, you guys are so dumb. You're so fucking dumb. This is an obvious fucking joke. What is wrong with you? Jesus.
buying Starbucks, you're literally killing 50 Palestinians every time you buy a coffee. Our Arabica requires, I'm guessing this is a type of coffee or plant or something, requires specifically at least 50 Palestinians to be murdered for the fruit to bloom. My roommate killed 100 Palestinians. I heard that the blender wouldn't even turn on unless you sacrificed at least 5 Palestinians during opening. This tweet has 2.5 thousand likes. This is her making light of a genocide? No, she's making fun of you Twitter freaks going after her for drinking Starbucks. That's what she's joking about, right? Anyone with the reading comprehension above a 5-year-old can clearly see that that's what's going on here. It's like these people are f***ing crazy, and of course, this person is.
That's how bad faith they are. It's very obvious that EuphoriTori was joking about the fact that she was being harassed over this shit, and they try to make it into her. You know, oh my God, she supports the genocide of Palestinians. It's like, get a fucking clue.
Communist, not surprising at all. Like, she said all those big trans accounts keep defending her and trying to say we're all transphobic for calling this kind of shit out, when no, people just don't think it's funny to make light of genocide.
I don't think that she said that people were transphobic for calling her out. One thing she did say, if I remember correctly, is she talked about how, like, you know, trans women on Twitter or trans people on Twitter, they're held to like this higher standard of like purity. And if they get something even slightly wrong, or they disagree with the opinions of like other leftists online, then they're like really, really condemned harder than pretty much anybody else would be. And it's true. You know, if you're a minority and you don't agree with other leftists, then yeah, it's you're held to a higher standard than other people, which is really unfair if I'm being honest. But anyway.
People don't think it's funny to say Starbucks is worth dead Palestinians. She's making she's making fun of you. You're the joke. You're what she's making fun of because you're insane. All right, that's the joke that she's making. By the way, remember my tweet calling Tori racist? People said she's changed, but she's best buds with Keffals, who is unapologetically racist and even made fun of Palestinians dying in her Discord server. Please deplatform this witch.
This is insane to me. I always laugh when like you see people say that like Keffals is racist, and like every time they show examples of how she's racist, it's always like the fucking noodle memes, or like her like editing the progress flag to include you know, the Irish flag colors and stuff like that. It's always like the dumbest shit that they use to try and be like, yo, Keffals racist. And it's like, what are you doing? I don't know. Anyway, I see Lumi in the chat. What's up, Lumi? Round of applause for Lumi! Happy to have you here. All right, let's continue.
So these people are calling for her to be deplatformed. First of all, Keffals racist? No, you got to be fucking joking. No, that's a joke. That is a fucking joke, dude. Keffals, the person who's known to be like this crazy, like woke scold who's deplatforming people, she's racist. She's racist? Is it because her noodles tweets? Because she said she likes noodles? Is that how she's racist to you? That's
Noodlegate is like, I kid you not, Noodlegate is like the dumbest thing ever. Okay? Like, I explained Noodlegate to some of my IRLs, and they're like, you have to be joking. That's not a real thing, right? Like, people didn't get mad at someone and claim that they're a racist for saying that noodles are tasty. And I'm like, no, that's a real thing. That actually happened. And like normies on the internet, they just can't believe that that would be a real fucking thing. But it is. It's a very real thing.
Standard of racism, because that's fucking insane. That's not realistic whatsoever. And I don't even get how this is racist. Where's racism here? This is her making fun of you people. This is her making fun of you people for harassing her over Starbucks. That's what she's making fun of. She's not making fun of Palestinians dying. She's making fun of the absurdity of claiming that going to Starbucks supports genocide. That's the joke. That's the joke. Insane. That's what she's making fun of. And you're just being blatantly dishonest to take it any other way. And then we got this person. Let me see. Pull this person up. All right. So yeah, we got this person again, this tweet again. So this person's like, EuphoriTori getting flamed over this is dumb as hell, not gonna lie. Then this person's like, she can't play both sides of the situation. What she's doing is performative activism. So
what do you mean? So she says free Palestine, and because she drinks Starbucks, but she's in favor of like freeing Palestine, that means she's like playing both sides. Again, these people don't know what they're talking about. They genuinely have no clue what it is they're talking about. They keep going on and on and on and on about how Starbucks supports Israel, and they just don't. I challenge anybody who believes that and happens to stumble upon this video to actually look into it and see that you're just fucking wrong. Like, I'm sorry, you just are.
She supports Palestine.
Like, the way they talk about it, you would think that, like, Starbucks was shipping mass amounts of, like, fucking weaponry that the Israelis are using to just slay Palestinians. And that's just not fucking happening.
She's on their side. She's on their side. She's supporting the right cause. But apparently going to Starbucks is playing both sides. She's just going to Starbucks to get a coffee. That's all she's doing. All right. And if anyone's the performative activist, it's you. You're the performative activist who's like, damn, this tweet's kind of a banger. Yeah, let's go. Let's get the clout. Let's get the likes and the retweets. What activism are you doing? What are you doing besides tweeting? Activism. Yeah, that's bullshit. You don't do shit. You
know what I should do because of the ridiculousness of this shit and the bullshit fucking outrage in relation to this? I think after this stream, I'm gonna head over to my local Starbucks and get a venti Java chip frap. How about that?
On Twitter and cry and whine at people and act like you're better, like you're morally superior because you don't go to Starbucks. Congrats! You don't go to Starbucks. Meanwhile, Palestinians are...
These kind of leftists deliberately avoid informing themselves because they'd rather just get offended at shit on the internet. Yeah, true. Whoa, tipster genocide supporter? Oh, shut up, Louie.
dying. Meanwhile, their homes are being blown up. Meanwhile, kids are being blown up. Like, an entire country is being decimated. But you want to care that, oh, wow, EuphoriTori goes to Starbucks? Oh, my God. EuphoriTori made some jokes in a Discord server. That's what you care about? Do you think the Palestinians who are dying give a fuck? You think that that's what they care about? They're running from bombs.
Yo, base Jalen. True. I think that's actually true.
Trying to survive. You think that that is what they care about? This petty bullshit? This is the problem with leftists, dude. You don't have your priorities straight. Who gives a about this Twitter bullshit? Why don't you actually advocate for something? Why don't you actually post something, share something instead of this? Oh, wow, this trans woman goes to Starbucks. She's not a real ally. Look, she made these racist tweets 10 years ago. That shit. It's bullshit and it's insufferable. I hate it. I really do. And there's like so many tweets with like thousands of likes just flaming her. These people going after her, claiming she deserves this. She's such a horrible person because she goes to Starbucks. Who cares? That's my take. Let people go to Starbucks. Let people enjoy their stupid coffee. Oh, wait, hold on. Segment's not over yet. Okay. Because
no.
Tori, she gave in. She gave in to the mob. Okay?
Oh my God, this was the most insane part of this, okay? Because if you know Tori, like, she's literally one of the sweetest people you'd ever meet. Like, she's a literal fucking sweetheart. She would never intentionally hurt anyone, okay? It's just not in her nature. She's just a kind, sweet soul, okay? So when she sees all these people, you know, getting mad at her for this, you know, initially she fought back a little bit, but then she, like... She's a people pleaser, okay? She tries to do her best to just make everyone happy. And so she gave into the mob and like she started like buying different coffee and they still harassed her for it. Look at this shit.
She gave into the mob and did what they asked. So they're still going after her, by the way. They're still attacking her. But yeah, she's been posting recently. Coffee place this morning kind of sucked. New local place, but the coffee tastes worse than Starbucks. So she's not even going to Starbucks now. She caved in. She gave in. Now she's going to random coffee places because the Twitter people got mad at her for going to Starbucks. And then these people, and she made another post like, this is the only coffee I have at home, so I'm just gonna go somewhere else and not drink this coffee. You realize you can buy non-Starbucks coffee brands? Are you genuinely this stupid?
This is fucking... I hate these people. I really, truly hate these people. If there's ever anything that would ever make me want to like legitimately Minecraft myself, like it would be people like this. Like these people are fucking insane.
Are you trying to f with me? It's like, Jesus Christ, dude. Holy... I'm literally going out of my way.
Never give in to the mob, okay? When it comes to like stupid shit like this, never, ever, ever give in to the mob because you can't reason with these people. You can't bargain with these people. You can never satisfy them. Once they've decided that you're the person that they hate for the week, nothing you can say or do will satisfy them. It's just, don't even try.
Way to not get Starbucks this week and try other things. Y'all are still angry. Off. And then of course there's always something you got to bring up. Even when you give them what they want, if you apologize to them, it's still, nah, you're still awful because of this. Don't care. You're the people my joke is making fun of. Exactly. Jesus fuck Christ, people. Jesus. I can't stand these people. I really can't. This is dumb. This rivals the Keffels noodles controversy, okay? Keffels got canceled, I think, because this like Asian woman or whatever was like, how dare this white woman make
It's like I said, the fucking Noodlegate shit is so dumb. I have seen a lot of people get canceled for various different reasons over the years. Okay? I've seen people get canceled for scamming their audiences. I've seen people get canceled for, Me Too type situations or like, various different things. And, sometimes it's valid, sometimes it's not. But the Noodlegate thing is literally the dumbest fucking thing I have ever seen anyone get canceled for. You would think she said the N-word the way that people call her a racist for this shit. She said un-N-word, but not the N-word. She said noodles and that they were tasty. It's just, I hate people so much.
A cookbook about noodles. This is cultural appropriation and racist. And then Keffels, I think, just said, I like noodles or something. And because of that, people are like, oh, she's racist. How does that make anyone racist? If anyone's racist, it's the person that was saying a white woman can't make a cookbook about noodles. That's who's fucking racist. There's no racism there. And if that's your racism, if that's the worst racism that you face, you're privileged. That's like a white woman crying about random bullshit, okay? A white woman crying because there's a trans person in the bathroom or a...
All right, so that pretty much covers like the EuphoriTori part of it. I'm going to go ahead and post a link in the chat to Jalen's video if you guys want to check it out for yourself. And if you're watching this as a YouTube video, I'll post a link in the description as well. But shout out to Jalen for their great coverage of this. Just to kind of sum up my thoughts on this situation, I've said it numerous times throughout the course of this segment, and I'm going to say it again. Woke scolding, fucking purity testing, this mob mentality, social justice shit, it just doesn't work. You just make us all look like a bunch of fucking clowns who just go around trying to ruin people's lives because they don't meet our perfect fucking standard of what we believe they should say or what we believe they should do and what they should boycott, etc. It's just so counterproductive. And it just makes us all look like fucking idiots. So please, for the love of God, stop this shit. And if you're going to boycott something, at least have a valid reason to boycott it and not some stupid fucking shit that you read on Reddit or something like that. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go ahead to Starbucks and get a fucking vanilla latte.
Play that shit!
Tipster, a good dude. Tipster, a good dude. Tipster, a good dude. Tipster.